Today is the day we are putting our basil into our pot that's going to go indoors and last the whole year long. So we have our propagated basil that has been inside for 2 weeks. This will take 2 to 3 weeks to get nice long roots on there, and we are going to go ahead and put it in our pot. The first thing that we have done is we have filled half of our pot with soil. We are actually just using soil from our garden, and it's a spot in our garden that we didn't have anything growing. So we actually had a spot next to our zucchini plant that didn't have anything growing because it needed 2 squares to grow. We're just going to take our basil and we're going to put it into our half full pot of soil. I'm actually going to do 3 in this pot. So we'll take all 3 of them here and kind of get them in their own area. Yep, and then we are going to fill the rest of it up with soil around those basil plants. You only want to fill the soil to the top of where the roots are. You don't want to go any deeper than that. That is different than tomatoes, where you're going to fill about 2/3 of the plant. But in basil, you only want to fill to where the roots stop. So that one can go a little bit deeper. We'll fill that right up and then push it in around there. And then the thing with this pot is I'm actually using, let me get in there nice and tight. I'm actually using the pot that we used last year, because I got a bigger basil plant than I did this year. And I found that it's best to have a larger pot indoors because you are going to be able to retain more of the water and go longer in between watering your plants. So we're going to do that, put a little bit more soil in probably. And then let me tell you about how I water these. What we're going to do is we actually do not want to get the water up on the leaves, because that is going to cause the plant to have leaves that get a little bit discolored and they're actually diseased. So what I did to make my plants last so long indoors is I actually put the water into the space between this pot and the removable pot. This pot has holes on the bottom and it will soak up through the pot and make the soil moist to get to the roots, but it won't be getting on our plants and getting diseased leaves on there. We are still going to trim this. We're still going to trim this, the top of it, and in fact we can actually do that right now. I'll show you where we do that. We are going to look for the first double spot of leaves that go to the side, and then it will have these little baby spots, these baby leaves that are right next to it, and then this tall stem above it. We are going to pinch off about 1/2 inch above that, and that is going to grow into 2 new branches. This, if it's long enough, can be put back into the water to propagate, and you'll replace this water every day or 2. It can either go into the water to propagate if it's about 3 or 4 inches long, or little short ones you can just go ahead and eat in your recipes. So we are excited to have this basil going. Keep trimming it every week to 2 weeks to keep the basil leaves nice and big leaves and strong plant. You're gonna love this. Go ahead and use your basil so that you can keep it going all year long.